Hello, hello. We've had a lot of requests for like, hey, what's the process look like? So I thought I would record a quick video to talk about how to buy a house and get a loan and what that process looks like. So first and foremost, I'm Lindsay Benton. I own Live.Laugh.Empower Real Estate Group in Denver, Colorado, and I'm passionate about educating everyone about home ownership and the benefits of owning a home and what that can look like as far as an investment portfolio as well. And I do believe everyone thrives when they feel at home, which is acknowledging all the objective and subjective benefits of home ownership, as well as just having a home and a roof over your head. Our mission is to provide the most professional and personalized experience in the industry by educating and empowering you to make your real estate goals a reality, all while minimizing your stress, maximizing your investment, and of course, laughing a little along the way. We really are here to educate and empower you and, of course, help you maximize your investment and the money that you're investing in a home. And then, of course, provide a professional experience for you. So who we are, we're friends who become colleagues and colleagues who become friends, who are serving, friends who become clients and clients who become friends. I'm proud of the group that we have put together and the culture that we have created. Each one of the people in that picture are a part of that culture. So home search, what to expect. When we talk about logistics, I like to remind people that the average home buyer search includes 5 to 10 homes, and that is down a little bit with the amount of virtual tours and videos and everything that's happening before they're ready to make an offer. So sometimes it's the first home and somebody's ready because they've been doing all of the work to, look at homes online and really take the tours of them without going in person. But 5 to 10 is the average. And, we are seeing it depends a lot on what property, what kind of property you want. And also, what the buyer, if there's a huge buyer group in that property. So it can really depend. You may have to write multiple offers. It depends a lot on the time of year. And of course, real estate is a supply and demand regulated industry. So it's a matter of who's in the market for sellers and buyers. So once we've had a meeting and we've discussed everything, then we're going to set up a website and MLS search for you. We create custom online portals so that we can see what you're saying about different properties. It's up to date within seconds of going live on the MLS. So you know that the information is valid and it's not being pulled from a third party, but instead it's being pulled directly from the MLS. And then the in-portal interaction is super important, where you're liking the things that you love, hearting the things that you love, and light bulbing the things you're interested in, and of course trashing the things that you're not. We see all of those items, so I think that it's just as important that you're trashing things as you are liking and hearting them. So we always encourage you to do your own research and never feel rushed. So you're going to see everything on the portal, and you're going to see everything on the MLS and all over the internet, right? And you're going to be able to drive by the property and check out the neighborhood and those kinds of things. Use the Google Street View, go see the neighborhood. Ultimately, I always like to remind people, we're not living there, you are. And so I want to make sure you're comfortable in that home and that you're doing your own research. So again, we don't want to make you feel rushed. At the same time, a lot of times the market is demanding that you make a pretty quick decision. So as we're going through and we're discussing different neighborhoods that may be a fit for you, we're going to encourage you to do that research about the neighborhood, not just wait until you find a home that you love to start looking at a neighborhood. So keep that in mind. The virtual tours are awesome. And then, of course, there's open houses, which can give you an opportunity to check out neighborhoods before you're necessarily ready to put in an offer as well. So yeah. When it comes time and you love a house, be ready to get competitive. We're going to be able to pull the data and pull the statistics on what people are having to do for the home. I mentioned, a condo that has a $600 HOA fee is not going to have quite as many potential buyers as a single family home that's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and it's $500,000, right? So it's just the whole supply and demand thing and what buyers are interested in, what is more of a deterrent for them. So we have offer variables that we'll send out to you once you get started looking, so that you feel completely educated and empowered, knowing what your options are. And then we're going to, help you hit the options that the seller's looking for based on conversations that we're having with the listing agent. Sometimes the listing agent is really helpful, and sometimes they do not tell us anything. So that's something to keep in mind, but just know that we're going to go to bat, and we've worked hard to establish those relationships. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is think long-term versus short-term. If you're willing to go up, if you're not willing to go up $2,500 now, just know that in a month or two, it's going to go up that much anyways. And so it really is all about not tripping over dollars to pick up dimes, but rather making sure that you're, really computing what it's going to look like in the long term as well, and knowing what your limitations are. A lot of times clients ask, what do I do to get a deal? I will tell you that the sales cycle, the Denver market has been about the same for 7 years now. And that first impressions are of utmost importance when listing your home. And so if you see a home that has really bad photos, or a home that is obviously overpriced and is going to sit on the market for a little bit, and then finally does a price decrease or whatever it might be, those are the homes that you're going to get a quote better deal on, or at least a more normalized buying experience where you're able to offer where you're comfortable and then negotiate accordingly. The other thing we're going to do for you that not all agents are doing, but I find it to be super important, is we're going to help create additional inventory. When we know where you want to be, we're going to go into those neighborhoods. We're going to send out a buyer need to 6,000 agents, 6,000 plus agents in the market who do a significant amount of business, like the Live Laugh Denver team. And we're going to say, hey, do you know of anyone? We're going to pursue homes that might be off market. If you see a sign that something's coming for sale soon, or want us to reach out to a neighbor or a house that feels like no one's been living there for a while, let us know. We're out to help you find additional inventory too. We do also explore new build options. We do a lot of new builds, and know that inventory. And then, we also just leverage our network. We have a really great network of agents that we've created great relationships with, that we will network with in order to ensure we're getting you a home where you want it to be. All right. So now we find you the home, and then what to expect? So within 72 hours, the first 3 business days, you're going to be expected to drop off your earnest money. It's usually 1 to 2% of purchase price. The big reminder we like to tell people here is, 1, they're going to cash that check. They cash it at the escrow company, the title company. They do not give it to the sellers. Additionally, that escrow money, that earnest money, is going to be held and then applied to your purchase at closing. So it will go against the numbers that your lender has told you you will need in time to close. The first 7 to 10 days, the seller's property disclosures will get sent to you. It's everything the seller knows about the home. You'll book your inspection. So you're going to want to make sure that you inspect everything you want to know about the home. It gives you a custom manual. That is an out-of-pocket expense for you. It varies from $500 to $1,000. It kind of depends on what property you purchase and how deep you want to go with inspections. We have recommendations for that. As far as inspectors go. Same for insurance. Now is a good time to kind of feel out what the insurance is going to look like. And then, of course, you're going to get due diligence docs from the seller as well. And again, similar to the property disclosure, they're telling you everything they know. They're providing you everything they know. But we're going to always advise that you do an inspection as well. After we get through that, you're going to get an appraisal. So it's usually the 2nd to 3rd week. The lender sends out an appraiser who is a third party to the transaction as well. They're going to come out, they're going to evaluate the property. They're protecting the end bank. So they're protecting the end lender on the property. However, by getting the appraisal done, it does protect you as a buyer. So let's say you're under contract at $350,000 and the appraisal comes back at $345,000. You can either bring the additional cash to the table and bring it up to that $350,000 mark, or the seller can come down to the $345,000 mark, or you can meet somewhere in the middle. We can also fight the appraisals. That doesn't usually have a great turnout, but it sometimes works, or at least to get it thrown out. And again, we're going to work with the listing agent to make sure that the appraisal comes in as high as humanly possible. And you'll see in the offer variables, there's different ways to deal with that as well, as far as offering what you've maybe heard, which is appraisal coverage. I will tell you, no 2 contracts I've ever written have been the same. And so if you hear something that's the norm out there, don't worry, nothing's normal. It's all completely custom and comes down to, again, the supply demand piece of this market. All right. Now, title is who's going to act as the third party, the neutral third party in this transaction. And they're going to ensure that the home doesn't have any liens on the property and then collect and disperse the funds. So basically, they are ensuring that you, when you buy the home, do not have or assume any of the debts that the seller may have had. Additionally, you're going to be working super closely with your lender to make sure that you get all the loan approval documents in and the loan documents in to get that final loan approval and clear to close. We'll do a walkthrough and then boom, you close on your home. Home ownership is awesome. Home ownership, like all great things in life, does take a little bit of work. So we're going to provide you with recommendations of what your maintenance is going to look like. We're going to also be there as your phone a friend. In the event you need help with anything, you can always reach out to your Live Laugh agent or the Live Laugh team, and we would be happy to help you with it. Whether you need a plumber or electrician recommendation, or just want to know what restaurant's the best place to take family when they're coming to town, we love the opportunity to be your go-to for all things Denver and Colorado living. So that is it for the process. Thanks for your time, and please feel free to rewatch if you have any other questions. Also, feel free to reach out or contact us on any of the socials. Thanks so much, and congratulations on an amazing decision to learn more about the home buying process and what homeownership will look like for you. Cheers.